And another beautiful night in Milwaukee, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you back to Milwaukee's County Stadium, the last two games before the All-Star break. Everybody, Sports Time Machine brings you another chapter of the Time Machine 1978 Strat-O-Matic baseball season, playing the same day of the year. This second game will feature Dave Racich making his second and last start of the year, and he'll be taking on Jerry Augustine. Should be a good one. Unfortunately, I bet the Yankees did get swept this weekend right before the All-Star break, so Yankees will need to get their offensive shoes going in this one. That is for sure. We'll go ahead and go over the game, how it did happen. We'll go over the lineups, and then we'll get your umpires, and then first pitch here at County Stadium. So in the actual game, the Yankees did... wait a minute, that was not correct. Let's go back. Next game, let's go ahead. This would be July the 8th, 1978. So we know the Yankees lost 6-0 in reality on the 7th of July. And yes, Ron Guidry pitched his heart out last night. But unfortunately, the bullpen caved in, and the Brewers end up winning last night's game. The Yankees have now moved into third place in the division. Give me 1 second as we're just getting statistics ready and loaded for you. How's everyone doing tonight? I want to thank all my fans out there watching and anyone who has helped my family out. We do appreciate everything you've done. It's been so nice. Alright, so the real game on July 8th, 1978, it was a night game. 46,000 showed up. The Brewers won 6-5. The Yankees led 4-3. Gonna have to be a subscriber to this Baseball Reference to get no ads. 4-3 Yankees. They went out to lead 5-3, 5-4. Brewers scored 2 in the 8th and won at 6-5. Eduardo Rodriguez got the win in relief. Gossage took the loss in relief. Bob McClure took the save. And let's take a look at some other statistics, what we might have for tonight. It was a 67-degree night, so a comfortable night for baseball. Here are your starting lineups first for your Yankees. Rivers leading off, then White, then Munson, Piniella in right, Chambliss at first, Cliff Johnson DHs versus the lefty, Bucky Dent at short, Fred Stanley plays at third, Damasco Garcia at second. So they are playing without Randolph, they're playing without Jackson, they're playing without Nettles. This is not going to be a fun game. Yankees are going to have to find ways. For the Brewers, against the rookie Racich, Young at short, Money at first, Bando at third, Heisel at left, Lascano is your right fielder, Dick Davis is your DH, Jim Wolford again in center, Charlie Moore at second, Len Sakata is your second baseman, and Jerry Augustine will be the pitcher. Let's go ahead and give your men in blue today. They're the ones getting paid behind the plate. Home plate umpire will be Bill Howard. First base umpire, Ron Luciano. Second baseman is Ken Kaiser. The third baseman is Mike Riley. Let's get to the field and let's get some baseball here from Milwaukee. Of course, it was an afternoon split double. It was a doubleheader. I'm sure that's split. It was a 20-night doubleheader between the Red Sox and the Indians. We'll try to keep that game. We'll try to keep those games to you if we could find them. Right now, it's Boston 3, Cleveland 2, and they just started. So let's see if we can find out any more about that game. We're looking for that out-of-town scoreboard here. Let's see. Boston, they are in three. Boston so far is 3-2-0. Cleveland's 2-3-0. Bob Bailey hit his 4th home run of the season. Let's see if they'll give me more stats or the second game as we play. Let's go ahead and continue here. Mickey Rivers due up. He's ready. He's hitting 245, 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup. Augustine 6-2, 3.73 ERA. From the left side's Augustine, and here is your first pitch of the ball game. Lefty-lefty matchup. And that's going to be a ground ball to first. Big play there by Don Money. He got it. Takes it to the bag himself, and there's one out. So 1 out here in Milwaukee, just getting underway. Here's Roy White hitting .249, 9 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Augustine with the windup. Here's a pitch to White, and that's going to be a base hit for White. He needed that one. White needs to continue being hot for this Yankee team. That's a line drive single for White. So he's on at first. Augustine's a 0. So he would have a 1 to 14 chance at stealing second. 28% says no. Augustine looks over and throws over. Runner on first, 1 out for the captain, Thurman Munson. .293, 6 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. Augustine from the stretch. The left-handed pitcher throws. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. That could go back a couple steps. Back goes Heisel, makes the catch in front of the track, and there's 2 outs. And here's Piniella. Piniella hitting .295, 1 home run, 32 runs batted in. Augustine from the stretch, White on at first, and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit for Piniella, as that could be at least a double. Let's see if Piniella can go for 2 here. And no, he'll stop at first, but that will allow Roy White to go to third. So the Yankees with first and third, no, with 2 outs. And here is Chris Chambliss hitting .296, 5 home runs, 32 RBIs. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 6-8 line drive to the second baseman Sakata, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, they strand 2. 1/2 inning of play. New York nothing, and the Brewers nothing. For the Yankees defense, we'll give you the Brewer defense when they take the field. White, Rivers, Piniella. Then it's Stanley, Dent, Garcia, Chambliss. That's Munson behind the plate, and on the mound is Dave Racich. Racich is no record. 5 innings of work, 7 hits, 2 walks, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and he gave up 1 home run. Here is Robin Yount, the leadoff for the Brewers, hitting .267, 2 home runs, 27 runs batted in. The left-handed Racich and the pitch. 1-6 is a ground ball hit to short. That will be Dent. He's got it. Good enough throw. Throws over to first. Got him 1 away. Here's Don Money. What a first half of the season he's having. He could be headed to San Diego in the All-Star game. He's hitting .364, 13 homers, and 40 runs, but you know he'll be there. The question is, will he beat out the first baseman for the job? Munson puts down the sign. Racich from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Don Money. And Don Money does what Don Money has done all year long. Fly ball left field. This can go deep. Far. Rivers runs out of room. It is gone. Home run number 11 for Money. Bernie the Brewer will get wet with suds, and the Brewers lead 1-0. So Don Money does it again. And here is Sal Bando. .278, 7 home runs, 42 runs batted in. 1-0 Yankees, 1 out. Racich with the warrant windup. Here's a pitch to Bando. And Bando popped to short. That will be Dent. He'll wait for it to come down, make the catch, and there's 2 outs. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And here is Larry Heisel. .292, 21 homers, 46 runs batted in. Solid season for Larry. Another possible All-Star reserve. Munson puts down the sign. Racich with a windup and pitch to Heisel. 1-11. That's going to be a ballpark single for Heisel. And that's going to go through for a base hit. So Heisel gets it through. Second hit for the Brewers. Inning's not over. And here's Sexto Lascano. .267, 3 home runs, 33 runs batted in for Sexto. Racich from the stretch. Heisel on a first, 2 outs, and the pitch. That's going to be another ballpark single attempt, and this time it is denied. What a play, a defensive gem by Bucky Dent. He went to his right, dove, and made a great catch. You'll see that on This Week in Baseball, Mel Allen. How about that? At the end of 1, Milwaukee 1, Yankees nothing. Give me 1 second here. I'll see what we have going on in our world of chat tonight. That way we can kind of find out exactly what's going on here. ID Jester, how you doing? Welcome in. Top of the second, 1-0 Brewers. For the Yanks, it'll be Johnson, Dent, and Stanley. This is the 2 games left before the All-Star break. Moore puts down the sign. Jerry Augustine with the pitch to Cliff Johnson. Johnson struggling with the bat. Johnson hitting .214, 1 home runs, 8 RBIs. He's going to need to pick that bat up a bit. Moore puts down the target. Augustine again waits. Here's the pitch to Cliff Johnson. Cliff Johnson, it's a fly ball center field. That will be an easy play for Wolford. Makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Here is Bucky F. Dent, .269, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs. Dent has had a great offensive season so far. Got hurt, that kind of derailed him a little bit. Moore puts down the sign. Lefty Augustine, and the windup and the pitch. 3-5 single for Dent. So single for Dent, gets it through, and he's on first with a base hit. Runner on first and 1 out, and now it belongs to Fred Stanley, hitting .200, no home runs, 7 RBIs. He's playing shorts. He's playing second base or third base today. Augustine from the stretch. Stanley steps up. Runner on first. Here's the pitch to Stanley. 3-8. That's a double play ball up the middle. 3-8 up the middle. That will be Yount. Sakata Money turns the double play. Yankees go down quietly. We go to the bottom of the second. Milwaukee 1, New York nothing. Captain Carl, how you doing? So bottom 2, 1-0 Brewers, and it's Davis, Wolford, and Moore. Munson puts down the sign. Racich looks in the windup to Dick Davis. Dick Davis, ground ball hit to the shortstop. That will be Dent. He's got it. Throws him out, 1 away. Here's Jimmy Wolford. Wolford played center field last night, hitting .393, 1 home run, 10 RBIs. Only been up 56 times. Racich looks in, gets the sign, the left-hander, and the pitch. And that would be a line drive to the second baseman, and there is 2 outs. So big 2 outs here in the second. And now for the Brewers, it'll be Charlie Moore. Moore steps up, right-handed hitting catcher. Munson puts down the sign. Racich looks in, left-handed starter. Here is the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball hit to third. It's not Nettles there today. That's a tough play. That's going to be a tough play for Stanley in the hole. He's got it. Throws him out. No! Throws it away. Chambliss had to come off the bag. So that will be an E5 on Stanley. Moore will reach. And now here's Len Sakata hitting .197. 4 RBIs. He's almost out of at-bats for the Brewers this season. Munson puts down the sign. Racich from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs, and pitch to Sakata. And that will be a ground ball hit to second. And Yankees are kind of playing a half-assed defensive team here for whatever reason. 6-7. Let's see if he gets him to the right. Is Garcia makes the play, base hit. He was covering second for the chance of the stolen base. Ball goes through, and now there's 2 on and 2 outs. So Sakata reaches for an infield hit. Padilla got to it. Moore could only stop at second. First and second, 2 outs. And now Robin Yount, the batter, who's 0 for 1. First and second, 2 outs. Opportunity for the Brewers to get some early runs here. Racich from the stretch. Robin Yount steps in, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a base hit for Robin Yount. You can see this kid going to flourish at some point in his career. And there it is, base hit. Moore will score. Here comes Sakata. He'll go to third. And the Brewers put up another, what do you want to call it? And another picket fence on the board. Brewers lead 2-0. 2-0 with 2 outs of the second. Here's Don Money, homered his last time up. And they were trying to run. They know if Racich is +8, he's going to be definitely a chance to run on. Munson sets the sign. Racich from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Money. Money, ground ball hit to the shortstop. That was hit directly in front of Dent. He should go to second for the short play. He does, and the side is retired. Brewers get a run. It's 2-0 Brewers. We head to the third inning. Yankees come up. Damasco Garcia followed by Rivers and White against the Brewers here. Yankees just trying to get through this first half of the season, and hopefully they'll get their injured players back. I can see why Billy struggled with this team Moore puts down the sign. Augustine with the windup. Here's the pitch to Damasco Garcia. Garcia hitting .243. No home runs, no runs batted in. He's getting a lot of starts right now. Augustine with the windup. Here's the pitch to Garcia. And that's a line drive down to the third baseman. Caught by the captain, Sal Bando. One away. Here's Mickey Rivers, 0 for 1. One out in the third. Augustine looks in. Wind up from the left-hander to Rivers. And that's going to be a ballpark single. That's going to be a single attempt on a 1-3. It's a 20. It's a soft liner to Sakata. So now here's Roy White. He's 1 for 1. He's one of the Yankee 3 hits in this ball game. Augustine looks in. Sign for Moore. Here's the windup to Roy White. And Roy White hits a line drive to the second baseman, Sakata, and the side is retired. Bottom 3 coming up, 2-0 Brewers. So now it'll be Bando, followed by Heisel and Lascano against Dave Rasich. What does our bullpen look like today? Is it any better than it has been the other nights? I would say absolutely not. They can bring Mr. Bob Kammeyer back, and he pitched last night, and he got lit up. But he has 22 innings to give me, and with Lyle and Gossage kind of sitting for better spots, he may be the long man again, but we may go to Lyle. So Munson puts down the sign. Rasich with the windup. Here's the pitch to Bando, and that's a ground ball hit the third. That is going to be Stanley. He's got it and throws him out for out number 1. Here's Heisel. He's 1 for 1. Rasich with the windup. Here's the pitch to Heisel. Heisel will fly ball left field. That's 2 quick outs against Mr. Rasich. Mr. Roy White will come over and make the catch, and there's 2 outs in the third. Here is Sexto Lascano, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Rasich sets in, gets the sign for Munson. Here is the pitch to Lascano. 4-9 base hit. That is a single for Lascano. So Sexto is on with a single. And it's now Dick Davis. So Davis to bat. Here comes the throw. They're throwing through. The play is not in time. That time Lascano stole it right off Rasich's +8. Runner on second, 2 outs for Dick Davis now. So now Rasich from the stretch. Lascano getting a good lead off second. Here's a pitch to Davis. And that's going to be a base hit for Dick Davis. They'll continue adding on to the picket fence. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Splits the gap. Lascano scores from second. Dick Davis hustles in the second with a double. Brewers lead it 3-0. Here is Jim Wolford. Wolford, a right-handed hitter. Rasich looks in. Runner on second and 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Wolford. And that's going to be a ground ball hit to the shortstop. That's going to be Dent. He's got it. Throws him out, and the inning's over. Milwaukee builds the perfect picket fence. Through 3, it's 3-0 Brewers. See if the Yankees can do something here. 3-6-0 for Milwaukee. 0-3-1 for the Yanks. Munson follows by Piniella and Chambliss. Moore puts down the sign. Jerry Augustine in. 0 for 1 is Thurman right now. Here's the pitch to Munson. 5-10's a walk. The Yankees do lead off the 4th inning with a walk. Getting something started here. And now here is Piniella, who's 1 for 1. One of the Yankee 3 hits in this ball game. Augustine looks in from the stretch. With Munson on at first, being held on. Here's the pitch to Piniella. And the pitch. And that is going to be a walk. So Augustine walks a pair of Yankees to lead this off. 2 on and nobody out, and brings up Chambliss. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Chris now needs to be a contributor here. Big hit Chris time. First and second, nobody out. Augustine from the stretch. First and second, no out. Pitch to Chambliss. Chambliss, ground ball. I don't think that's a double play ball. Thankfully, it's not injury. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Money to short, and that's it. So you get the runner at second. Munson the third, and it's first and third, 1 out. So now here is big Heathcliff Johnson. Man, oh man, can you ask Heathcliff for a bigger time to tie this game? First and third, 1 out. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the big pitch to Heathcliff Johnson. 3-7 walked him. The Yankees have loaded the bases with walks. So the bases are now loaded. Augustine's trouble continues, and it brings up Bucky Dent, whose time so far has been well used. 7 home runs, 22 RBIs, hitting a very respectable 272. Bases loaded, 1 out. They want to stay out of the double play. They want something here. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine from the stretch. Brewer fans getting on their feet for their pitcher. Here's the pitch to Dent. Dent is going to be line drive right at Sal Bando. Oh my. Munson holds, and there's 2 outs. And now it's Fred Stanley. Again, no pinch hitting till about the 7th inning. So Stanley's going to have to get a chance here. Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Chicken Man. If he can get in his 1 column, he can get some runs across. Chambliss not being held will have at least a 70% chance of scoring. So Stanley needs a hit here. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine from the stretch. Bases loaded, 2 outs. A pitch to Stanley. Stanley, ground ball hit to second base. That will be Sakata. He's got it. Throws them out, and the Yankees go silent in the ninth. No runs, no hits, 3 walks. Leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Brewers. Yankees have left 5 on base. The Brewers 4. Yankees are 0-4 with runners in scoring position. The Brewers are 2 for 4. Bottom 4. And it's back to Charlie Moore, Sakata, and Yount here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Munson sets the target. Racich the windup. Lefty-righty matchup. 3-7 hit. Hard ground ball to short. That's Dent. He's got it. Throws them out. And there's 1 out in the 4th. Here's Len Sakata. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Racich with the windup. 1 out here in the 4th. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a fly ball center field. Not too deep. That's going to be Mickey Rivers. He'll wait for it and make the catch for out number 2. Here is Robin Yount. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI, leading off for the Brewers today. 2 outs in the 4th is this young kid. I believe he's, 20 or 21 years old at this point. Racich looks in, gets the windup. Here's the pitch to Yount. Yount is a ground ball hit to second. Play for Damasco Garcia. Let's see if he can make the play on this. To the right he goes. Throws them out and got him. The side's retired. 3 up, 3 down for Racich. He needed that one. Let's go to the 5th. Brewers 3, Yankees nothing. So 3-0. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Again, please, if you're here, folks, please like, please subscribe if you have not. We appreciate that to help the channel out in its metrics. 3-0 Brewers in the 5th. Garcia followed by Rivers and White. Can Garcia now help the Yankee cause? Augustine in his 5th inning of work has only given up 3 hits, but he's walked a bunch of guys. Augustine with the windup. Here's the pitch to Damasco. 5-3, ground ball to first base. Tough play for Money down there. Let's see if Money can come up with it. That's going to be right down the line. Does he get to it? He does. He pitches it to Augustine for out number 1. Here's Mickey Rivers. He's 0 for 2. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine looks in. Left-to-left matchup. Augustine, the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a popped it up straight. That's popped it up the old window. That's going to be up the shaft. Yount waits for it. Makes the catch, and there's 2 outs in the 5th. Here's Roy White. He's 1 for 2, batting from the right-hand side. Augustine looks in, signs from Moore. Here's the windup to Roy White. 6-7's a walk. The Yankees get a 2-out walk from Augustine. Again, any big hit puts him back in this game. Here's Munson. Boy, he can supply it. He's 0 for 1 with the walk. Let's see if he get a big hit here. Augustine from the stretch. White on at first, 2 outs. White being held, getting a good secondary lead. Augustine from the stretch. Here it is. And that's going to be a line drive down the first, but Don Money gobbles it, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 Brewers. 3-0 Brewers. So now the Brewers come up for Don Money, one of the Major League's leading hitter, followed by Bando and Heisel against Dave Racich. Racich looks in, gets the sign. Money 1 for 2. Had a big home run back, I believe, in the second, in the first inning. 4-5, struck him out. Big strikeout for Racich. He got to get that one. Big out there. He's got to continue putting zeros up. Here's the captain, Sal Bando. He's 0 for 2. Munson puts down the sign. Racich looks in. Wind up. Here's the pitch to Bando. 6-3. Fly ball left field. That's going to be directed toward Roy White. Roy White will over to his left. He's going to have to dive for it. And he makes... No, he doesn't. He dives for it, but it is a trap. There's no instant replay here, so Bando reaches on a single as White allows the hit. Now here's Heisel, who's 1 for 2. Bando trying to steal. Again, with Racich +8, why not? Munson puts down the sign. Racich working from the stretch. Runner on first, 1 out. The pitch to Heisel. That's going to be a pop up to short. Major league pop up to short. That will be Dent. He'll wait for it to come down. Calls off Garcia. Makes the catch. And there's 2 outs for Lizcano. Lizcano, 1 for 2 and a run scored. Right-handed bat. Racich looks in. 3-0 Brewers. Bottom of the 5th here. Racich from the stretch. Bando to get a good lead on first. Here's the pitch to Lizcano. 5-7 pops it straight up. They got that one before. That will be Dent. He'll wait for this one to come down, make the catch, and the side is retired. We played 5 here at County Stadium. Milwaukee 3, Yankees 0. Beatles internally. How are you, my friend? Welcome aboard to the time machine. We've set the destination at County Stadium, 1978, July 8th. 2 games left in this first half replay, and then we'll be playing the actual 1978 All-Star game sometime next week when it's played in actual 1978 real world. I'll be doing the rosters hopefully when after Sunday. We'll figure out who's on who, play the guys that actually performed well in the replay, and then we'll play the game. So we hope we'll have a big, large crowd for the All-Star game. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Brewers. Piniella followed by Chambliss and Johnson against Jerry Augustine working the 6th inning. Pinella's 1 for 1 with a walk. More sets. Augustine with the windup. Here's the pitch to Lou Piniella. Line drive down the 3rd. Bando played perfectly, 1 away. Good play by Captain Sal. 1 out in the 6th. Here is Chambliss, 0 for 2. He had a big out, and when the Yankees had the rally, they're not getting good pitches to hit. With runners in scoring position, Moore puts down the sign. Augustine the windup, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Base hit Chambliss. He needed that one when the bases were loaded. So Chambliss a base hit number 4. Yankees again only down 3, and now here is Heathcliff Johnson. Big right-handed stick. Walked his first time up. Runner on first, 1 out. Moore goes out and talks to Augustine. Goes back. Augustine now working from the stretch. Runner on first. Chambliss no really threat to steal. Being held by Money. The hole between first and second is open. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Heathcliff Johnson. Oh, missed it. All that stuff in the 3 column. 3-10. Ground ball hit the short. Yount to Sakata. The Money. Got it. Double play. Yankees down in the 6th. Through 5.5. It is Brewers 3. Yankees 0. Davis, Wolford, and Moore for the Brewers. Boy, Heathcliff Johnson just missed that one. Last of the 6th. 3-0 Brew Crew. Dick Davis, Wolford, and Charlie Moore. 3-7-0 for the Brewers, 0-4-1 for the Yankees, and Racich will stay out there. He's calmed down enough to give them some solid work. Munson puts down the sign. Racich with the windup to Dick Davis. 1 for 2 with a double so far. And that's going to be another double for Dick Davis. That time he had a roaring double to left field. Left field is White. Plays the hop. Davis in the second standing for a double. So Davis on second with nobody out. Again, thinking about keeping Racich in here. Maybe not. Let's see what they're going to do. Wolford to swing. Wolford is 0 for 2. Runner on second, nobody out. Racich from the stretch. Runner on second, nobody out. The pitch to Jimmy Wolford. 1-8 ground ball hits toward the third baseman. Good play from Stanley. He's got it. Throws him over, one away. One out in the sixth. Charlie Moore, the batter. He's 0 for 2. So a big opportunity for Racich to get out of this inning. Of course, Yankee history has Dave Racich going to the Texas Rangers for a trade with Dave Righetti. So they got something really good back for giving up Racich. Munson puts down the sign. Racich from the stretch. Runner on second, one out, pitch to Moore. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Racich. He's got it, self-preservation. He had to put the glove up. He made a nice play on it. He walks over, throws the ball, and he gets him out. Score that 1-3. 2 outs, runner on second for little Lenny Sakata. He's almost out of bats in history, so he should be done soon. With 2 outs here, the 3-0 ball game. Munson puts down the sign. Racich from the stretch looking in. Here's the pitch to Sakata. 5-7, popped it straight up. Racich works himself in and out of trouble. Dent with the play, makes the catch. As we played 6, it is 3-0 Milwaukee. So in the 7th, 3-8-0 Milwaukee, 0-4-1 for New York. Dent to swing, followed by Stanley and Garcia, and we are in the 7th inning, which means the benches are open. So now Dent ready. He will swing. He's had a good season so far, right-handed bat. Augustine looks in. Here's the pitch to Dent, top of the 7th. 5-5, fly ball right field. Still not getting anything started. That will be Lascano there. Makes the catch, and there's one away. So with one quick out now, and here is Stanley. He's their third baseman. Let's see what they want to do. That probably would have to be Nettles at some point. Yankees have Jackson, Nettles, Spencer, Blair, Heath, Doyle, Johnson. This is not now in history where you have 3 or 4 bench guys. They have 8 guys on the bench who can swing the bat and look to swing. So let's see who the Yankees decide here. They have mostly left-on-left situations. Will they lift Stanley here? They're in the 7th inning. And we'll go possibly with, you know what? The numbers say Fred Stanley's a little bit better at 341. Mike Heath's better. Jay Johnstone would be dramatically better, but I hate to put a left-on-left situation here, so we won't. So Stanley will swing here in the 7th with 1 out. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine the windup and the pitch. And 6-10, ground ball hit the third. Let's see if they can get something out of Sal Bando here. 6-10, Bando's over to his right, picks it up. He's got it, throws over. No, he pulled money off the bags. That's an E5 on the captain. So Bando let it go. He looks like he slipped off the hands. And now here in the 7th inning with 1 out, Yankees got a runner on, so anything can happen. Damasco Garcia, second baseman. He's another guy. Do the Yankees lift him for a possible pinch hitter? With a lefty Augustine on the mound, 216. Who would be a better choice here? Doyle could go in the play second base. I can just need someone to maybe swing. Let's do Paul Blair. So Paul Blair will swing. A little better against lefties. One of the all-time favorites for Mr. Beatles internally. Runner on first and 1 out. Blair hitting .215. 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. Gets on base a lot with walks. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Paul Blair. 3-8 and not 3-9. Oh no, not again. 3-9 for White. Ground ball to Bando. Let's set it going. 5, 4, 3. Double play around the horn. Yankees do not leave anyone on this time. 7th inning stretch here in Milwaukee. It's 3-0 Brewers. Paul Blair will stay in the game and play left field. And Brian Doyle will go in the game and play second. He'll have to swing next inning one way or the other. So I want to keep Blair's glove in this. So now with Blair, Rivers, and Piniella in the outfield, gets White's +3, +4 arm out of there. 3-8-1 for Milwaukee, 0-4-1 for the Yanks. Yount Money Bando against the youngster Dave Racich. So here we go. Bottom of the 7th. Racich looks in. Here's the sign and the pitch to Yount. Yount on a pop to short. They've hit that 5-7 enough time. Thankfully, it's nothing. Popped up to short. Dent will call off Doyle. Makes the catch, and there's one away. Here is Don Money. 1 for 3. When a Major League's leading hitter, he could be heading to the All-Star game and possibly a starting position. Munson puts down the sign. Racich looks in. Here is the pitch to Don Money. Don Money hits another drive. The same exact pitch he hit earlier to go gone. But this time, Bernie the Brewer has to stop. He will not go down. Rivers plays the hop off the wall. It's a stand-up double for Money. So Bernie the Brewer left on his perch. He couldn't suds up. Money on its second one away. And here is Bando. And let's see what the Yankees do here, and they may call somebody out here. Boy. They'll have to hit 2 more times, 5 outs. Guy got bombed the last time. Mr. Kammeyer will come in. Didn't want to put Gossage in this situation. 1-0, a 9 ERA. 9 hits over 7 innings, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He really got lit up in last night's game. So Munson puts down the sign. Kammeyer the righty. Here's the pitch to Bando. 2-3 base hit for Bando. Boy, he just waited on that one. Tattoos it into right center field. Money will score. Bando stops at first, and it's 4-0 Brewers. And now here's Larry Heisel, 1 for 3. Kammeyer from the stretch. Here's the pitch to him. And that was deep. 5-ball, deep left field. That could be gone, but Blair is there at the track, makes the catch for a second out. Here's Loscano. He's 1 for 3 with the run scored. Bando on at first, 2 outs. Brewers have added to their lead with another picket fence, leading at 4-0. Munson puts down the sign. Kammeyer from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball right field. They'll get the job done, only give up a run. Brewers add 1. It's 4-0 Brewers. We head to the 8th. 10-1 for the Brewers. 4-1 for the Yanks. So now in the 8th, Rivers will swing, followed by Doyle and Munson against Jerry Augustine. Not going anywhere right now is Jerry. Left on left matchup, 4-0 game. Augustine with the windup and the pitch. 5-11 ground ball back to Augustine. Let's see if Augustine can make a play on this. He is. That's a pretty good defender. He's got it. Throws him out easily. 1 away. Here's Brian Doyle. He's going to have to bat here. You only have 2 second basemen. So Doyle will swing. Doyle is hitting .269, no homers, and 3 runs batted in. Augustine with the windup and pitch to Brian Doyle. Doyle, fly ball center field. Again, the Yankees going mildly here. This will be Wolford for out number 2 and makes the catch, second out in the 8th. And here's the captain hitting .291. Yankees just looking kind of lifeless at this point. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine with the windup. Here's the pitch to Munson. Munson with a base hit for Thurman. He'll get on board. He'll go around first. Goes to second. Oh, he put the brakes on. What a throw by Loscano. Throws a dart, and Munson heads back in a hurry. Wow. Should have been a double, but Loscano's dart kept him where he was. Runner on first and 2 outs, and here's Sweet Lou. He needs a big hit here to keep things going. Runner on first and 2 outs. Moore puts down the target. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Lou Piniella. Lou Piniella hits a drive in the right center field and deep. This could be trouble. That could go off the walls, Piniella. Let's see what kind of speed Munson has. Can they get the ball back in? 1-14 will hold Munson at third. And here is Chris Chambliss once again. Holy cow. And now Munson steps up with runners at second and third. 2 outs. Can't take him out. But Reggie is grabbing a bat. So second and third, if Chambliss reaches, Augustine could go. So here we go. Augustine from the stretch. Second and third, 2 outs. Augustine looks in. He's a 5L. Good Lord. Nothing on his card versus lefties. At least not much. I want to rethink this. Let's see what Billy's gonna do. This is Billy Martin you're looking at. He's willing to make a move for the best of the team. And could they go like Mike Heath here, who is 6 of 12, 3 doubles, a triple, and go with the odds? Or he's the only right-handed on the bench? Or could they go Nettles, who's probably a worse hitter, 289, 338? Yeah, Chambliss is still better odds. So Chambliss will swing. Second and third, 2 outs. He steps to the plate. Here is the pitch from Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. And that's going to be a base. Oh, no, it's not going to be a base hit. 3-8. That's going to be a high fly ball. Right center field. It's got distance, but Loscano gets it on the track and the inning is over. Yankees strand 2 more. Milwaukee 4, Yankees nothing. 4-10-1 for Milwaukee, 6-1 for the Yanks. The Yanks have left 8 on base, Milwaukee 7. The Yankees right now are 0 for 5 with runners left in scoring position, while the Brewers are 3 of 8. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cam Meyer will stay there, pitch to Davis, Wolford, and Moore to see if he can keep it at a 4-run deficit. Munson puts down the sign. Cam Meyer the windup. Here's the pitch to Davis. 6-8 fly ball hit in the left field. This should be out number 1. Paul Blair is there. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 out. Looks like Boston and Cleveland are at it in a long doubleheader first game. Let's look at our out-of-town scoreboard, see what's going on here. It is a 5-5 tie. 5-8-0 for Boston, 5-9-0 for Cleveland. Home runs by Bob Bailey, home run by Gary Alexander. So 4-0 Brewers, 1 out in the 8th. Wolford to swing. Cam Meyer with 1 out in the 8th, just trying to get through this. Cam Meyer the windup. Here's a pitch to Jimmy Wolford. And that's going to be a pop-up, I believe, behind the plate. That should be Munson. It should be playable for Thurman. He's made some, and he gets it on the out. Nice job. He went back to the screen and made the catch before it blew back. 2 outs in the 8th. Here's Charlie Moore, who's 0 for 3 and a run scored. Munson puts down the sign. Cam Meyer looks in. Gets it. Here's the windup to Charlie Moore. 5-7. Another double for Charlie Moore. So a double for Moore. His first hit of the ball game over the head of Rivers. Plays the hop, and Moore will have a stand-up double. And now here is Sakata. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Cam Meyer from the stretch. Runner on second, 2 outs. Milwaukee leads 4-0. Out hitting the Yankees 11-6. Here's the pitch from Cam Meyer. 4-10. Ground ball hit the short. Let's see if Bucky Dent can make a good play on this and get us going in the 9th. Dent's got it. Throws. No, he pulled Chambliss off the bag. That's an E6. So a second error for the Yankees, and that's not a good one. First and third, 2 outs, and brings up Yount. So now, what do they do here? He likes hitting lefties. Jeez. Cam Meyer, let's see. We're going to go. Gossage normally would not like to be called in this situation. So Cam Meyer is going to have to go ahead and pitch. Billy and Gossage have been at it before. Gossage being put in games that he doesn't belong in. So unless we bring in Lyle, which is statistically a mismatch, Cam Meyer's going to have to try to deal with this. Munson puts down the sign. The rookie putting in the Lions' den. First and third Brewers with 2 outs. Cam Meyer from the stretch, and they were trying to steal, and it didn't work. So first and third, 2 outs. Let's see what they're going to do there. No more stealing attempt. Cam Meyer from the stretch to the youngster Robin Yount. 1 for 4 of the RBI. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive base hit. It is a base hit for Robin Yount. He gets the job done, and that makes Billy look even more foolish here. Moore will score. Sakata the second, and the Brewer lead is now 5-0. Here is Don Money. 2 for 4 of the home runs so far. Cam Meyer from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. This inning should be over. But the Brewers improve on their picket fence like it's Tom Sawyer. It's 5-0 Brewers. We head to the ninth. Do the Yanks have a rally in their bones? Something tells me they do not. But let's see what happens. Anything can happen. So Yankees will pull. They'll pull Johnstone here. And you'll get, I think you're going to get, let's go Mike Heath here. I want to save these guys for a situation. I almost cannot hit for these guys now, because if I go in extra innings, Nettles can play short, so he can go in and play for Dent if needed. Let's see, what do? Normally you do not play that game. Doyle can play all over and flex. Looking and see what my options are. Most of these Yankees are just, you can play this, you can play that, and that's it. So Stanley can kind of budge and move over. Actually, I could put Paul Blair, they have an extra outfielder, I could put him somewhere in the infield if it goes astray. So let's go with Mike Heath here. He's a little better an offensive hitter. Cliff Johnson has not shown me anything. 5-12-1 for Milwaukee. 0-6-2 for the Yankees. Moore puts down the sign. Augustine the lefty. Here's a pitch to Mike Heath. And the swing. Fly ball left field. Larry Heisel is not a good outfielder. This should be, hopefully, nope, Heisel's a 2, actually. A little better than I thought. Is it going to go over his head? He dropped it, actually. Heisel dropped the ball. Heath will go to second, and the Yankees have a starter here. Heath on at second with nobody out. So now here's Bucky Dent. He'll swing. I don't have a problem with Dent. And then they may have to use some chicanery here, some shenanigans. Runner on second, nobody out. Moore from the stretch. Augustine looks in, runner on second, nobody out. The pitch to Dent. Dent with the swing, and that's going to be a base hit for Dent. He gets the job done. 5-4, single 1-15, gets it on the 5, first and third Yanks. And now all of a sudden they may have a rally here. First and third, nobody out for Stanley. And sorry, Fred, you're done. So Stanley is playing, let's see what we're doing here. Stanley is playing third base. You bring in your third baseman here, Mr. Nettles, who'll swing here. Nettles a swing against Augustine. First and third, nobody out. Hitting .286, 17 homers, 57 RBIs. Left on left matchup, Nettles still with power. Moore puts the sign down. Augustine from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Nettles. 5-6 pops it straight up. Oh my. That will be out. Waits for it to come down. Makes the catch, and there's first and third, 1 out. Paul Blair will stay out there and swing. He hits lefties well enough. First and third, 1 out as Augustine looks in. Yankees trying to mount a little bit of a rally. Down 5-0. Yankees have the runners first and third, 1 out. Augustine from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Blair. Blair has a base hit. Blair does the job. Big hit for Paul Blair. It's going to go all the way to the wall. It split the gap between Heisel and Wolford. He scores. Dent the third, and the Yankees lead at 5-1, and the Brewers are going to have to go to their bullpen. And the Brewers do not have an ace up their sleeve. So here comes George Bamberger. That should be all for him. Let's see who they go with here. Let's go click that, and they'll go to Bob McClure. So Bob McClure comes in, 2-6, 3 saves, 4.89 ERA, 50 hits over 35 innings. Some tells me, thank you very much. We could probably do something. Second and third, 1 out, 5-1 Milwaukee. If I want to redo that and call my own bullpen out to be a Brewer, who do they have to bring in? Do they have a long list of bullpen? This would be a Bill Castro type time. He had 8 saves during the season. He had 7. They don't have your prototypical closer on this team. So let's see. Rivers, then Doyle, 2 lefties. Yeah, 9L. That's where you want to be. Then I would probably go to maybe Castro if he coming in. Second and third, 1 out. Rivers will swing. Go ahead, Bob McClure stay in. Not much on the left side, but there is some stuff. McClure from the stretch. Second and third, one out, and the pitch. The Rivers, and he walked him. The Yankees have loaded the bases now. The tying run has come to the plate. And yes, Beatles, internally, we have seen this happen before. Holy cow. Bases loaded. 5-1 Brewers, and Brian Doyle's bat. Oh, no. He is my second baseman. Paul Blair can go and play second base. So, number 44, Reggie Jackson. And here comes Reggie. Time for the dramatic. Bases loaded, 5-1 Brewers, 5-12-2. The Yankees 1-8-2. Jackson hitting .283, 23 homers and 69 ribbies. Jackson, the tying run comes to the plate. There is power on McClure's card, even at being a 9L. Moore puts down the sign. McClure from the stretch. Can the Yankees pull off one of those crazy comebacks? McClure and the pitch. That's going to be... Oh, he hit it deep. Jackson hit a home run, 1-7. A 12 is going to be a very, very loud out. Lascano with the catch. Dent can walk home. We'll try for third. Here's the throw. I think he got in the third, and Blair's in the third. So it was deep enough for the run to score and Blair to get the third. So now it's a 5-2 ball game. Jackson just got underneath it. And now here's the Capitan, Thurman Munson, 1 for 3 and a walk. He definitely should be batting against, definitely not against a lefty here. Let's see what we want to do. I don't think we have any Brewer fans in the audience, but something tells me you might go to Bill Castro just to make it not as bad on Munson's card. You want to slow Munson down on his own card and just hope you don't hit anything. Castro against righties is not pretty. That could be the problem. So, McClure will probably stay. Let's see what the card looks like against righties. Oh, God, he has a solid. Oh, goodness, what do you do here? All right, hang on. Let's look at Edward Rapology. Let's look at Mr. Rapology for the Brewers. Let's see, can he get me? Can Eduardo Rodriguez get me an out? No, he can't. He comes in basically auto-tired. He had 26 home runs given up. Yeah, so that will be... He had 9, actually. So Rodriguez may be an opportunity. Again, I'm looking to make it fair here. I don't think they bring in a non-closer, but he's your best pitcher. So, McClure, Lord, what do you do? Do you go with Castro here, or do you leave in McClure? What is the best opportunity here? Let's see. First and third, 2 outs. Munson looks in. Is he going to get McClure, or is he going to get Castro here? I'd say you don't want McClure's card against a righty at all with Piniella and Chambliss, so he still has another righty to face. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make the move. I'm going to go ahead and call for Bill Castro. He had the saves that season, and he should be in there to get it. He's a reverse split guy, so I'm not too good with that. But he doesn't give up any solids to righties. He has a 1-6 home run there, and that's it. So he'll be better for Munson and Munson's spot. So Castro comes in. It was a I guess you can call it a decision from above, from the Brewer management. They told me to make it, not the computer. So we'll give Castro the shot. This, to me, the better option. If he hits a home run off Castro, so be it. But with all those home runs on McClure's side against the right-hand side, I'm not going to leave him out there to get hit. First and third, 2 outs, 5-2 Brewers. Munson, 1 for 3 of the walk. Castro from the stretch, and here we go. Here's the pitch. And a 6-10's a base hit to right field. Munson with a base hit. They'll get one back. Blair will score. Rivers will go to third. He'll send the runner. They will not throw through. 5-3 Brewers. And now the Yankees with the go-ahead runner on. Tying go-ahead runner at the plate. Munson is the tying run. Lou Piniella, 2 for 3 with a double, steps in. Not really any power versus righties, so he'll have to probably get a clean hit to keep things going. First and third, 2 outs for Sweet Lou. Moore puts down the sign. Castro from the stretch. Looking in. First and third, 2 outs to Lou Piniella. Swinging. Struck him out. Looking. Caught Piniella on the inside corner. And Bill Castro will get himself the save. And the Brewers hold on and win this 5-3. Well, the Brewers 5-12-2. The Yankees 3-9-2. Augustine goes 8 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs. None of them were earned. 4 walks. He wins it. McClure will take the hold. Goes a third inning, and Castro gets the save. Goes the other third. Racich took the loss. 6 1/3, 9 hits, 4 runs. 3 were earned. 1 strikeout, 1 home run. Cam Meyer went inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run. So a big game there. Let's go over statistics for the Yankees. Multiple hit guys. Munson 2 for 4. Piniella 2 for 4. Bucky Dent 2 for 4. For the Brewers, they had a bunch. Yount 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Money 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, an RBI, home run. Bando 2 for 4 and an RBI. Dick Davis 2 for 4 in the RBI. For the extra stuff, doubles, Piniella, Blair, Money, Davis had 2 doubles, and Charlie Moore. Don Money had his 14th home run of the season. Reggie Jackson had his 70th RBI, Munson his 38th, Blair his 3rd, Yount had 2 RBIs, giving him 29. Money his 41st RBI, Bando his 43rd RBI, Dick Davis his 26th RBI. So the Milwaukee Brewers will win Game 2 of this series, and now there's 1 game left before the All-Star break. Let's see how the Red Sox did. We'll go ahead and now look at our history and see what happened. I want to read the newspaper results like you would when you open up the newspaper the next day, and we'll be happy and surprised together. The Red Sox Cleveland game was tied at 5. I did not know what the finish was, so let's slowly go down. And Red Sox won Game 1 5-2. This is not going to be pleasant for our Yanks. Dennis Eckersley with a complete game, 5-13-0 for Boston. Cleveland 2-9-1. So Eckersley goes to 13-2, solidifying his spot as a possible All-Star and maybe starting the game. Mike Paxton took the loss. In the nightcap, the Red Sox complete the sweep, scoring a run in the 10th, winning 6-5, 6-9-0. Cleveland 5-12-0. That will take I'll take a game and a half off that lead. So now as we go to the records, Boston is now 9 up on Milwaukee. Yankees are now falling to that 13.5 spot they did in 1978. They're 10.5 back at 45-38. That leaves them 1 game in back of reality, the same spot in 1978 with wins and losses. Boston's 55-27. They're 2 games in back of reality. So when this was played reality, Yankees were 11 back then, so they're about a half difference. Kansas City, a 7.5 game lead on Texas. Phillies, a 2.5 lead on Montreal, 4 on Pittsburgh. LA, a 6.5 game lead on San Diego, and 11 on the Reds. So let's go ahead and finish things off in a flourish here. The last game will be tomorrow. That will be the end of the All-Star break. The Sunday games, it will be Alan Ripley and Rick Wise in Cleveland. Boston trying to complete the 4-game sweep. And then here in Milwaukee, Don Gullett will take on Bill Travers. And then it will be the All-Star game. I'm guessing it will be July the 11th, 1978. So we will play it then. We'll have you the starters and everything else. Well, folks, thank you so much for being here. Had a great ending. Had a great chat going on. I appreciate everyone talking. It's been great, wonderful. Please like, please subscribe. Nice to see you, Jamie. Thank you for coming in, taking some time away from the bash. Always some great things going on with you and Mr. Silva. So I want everyone to say thank you, Beatles, thank you, Jamie, thank you, Captain Carl, ID Jester. Everyone has been in here, nice sized crowd. Please do me a favor, click on that like button. If you have not subscribed, do that. So again, this is the New York Yankees 1978 season in replay to the day replay. This is July 8th, 1978. We get back in our time machine and we go back to July 8th, 2026. We'll talk to you later and have a good rest of your evening.